Gibraltar is wrapped in history. Come and see some of the heritage highlights. Since civilization began in the Mediterranean, the Rock of Gibraltar has witnessed the ebbs and flows of peoples and ideas. The Phoenicians, the Greeks, the Romans and the Moors of North Africa, who named the rock Jebel Tariq, Tariq's mountain, and left a rich layer of history that's highly visible today. This is the oldest structure in the territory. It was built by the Moors in 1333 after they recaptured Gibraltar from the Spanish. The Moors began the fortification of Gibraltar, building mighty walls presided over by this castle. Four centuries later, under British control, Gibraltar's defence went underground. If you inhabit a small fragment of territory surrounded on three sides by the sea, and you've got some enemies, you can expect to be besieged. And that's happened to Gibraltar 14 times, most recently in 1779, with the Great Siege involving 14,000 Spanish troops. To defend the rock, army engineers dug tunnels to provide gun emplacements, and after nearly 4 years, Spain abandoned the siege. During the Second World War, the British created an underground city, a three-dimensional maze with 30 miles of tunnels. Nature has also carved out some impressive subterranean spaces. As show caves go, St Michael's is definitely Premier League, but what puts it in a class of its own is that this is a show cave where you can see a show. Yes, they've got a 700-person auditorium. In ancient times, the inhabitants of the rock dwelt in natural caves. They provided an excellent living location for people, though not quite people like you and me. Skulls found in Gibraltar indicate that Neanderthal man and woman thrived here. In Gorham's Cave on the east side of the rock, archaeologists have found evidence that has helped modern humanity understand how Neanderthals lived tens of thousands of years ago. The location, which may have been the last refuge of the entire species, is now on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The custodian is Dr. Geraldine Finlayson, director of the Gibraltar Museum.
Everything that you can see behind us, right from the very top of the rock, where you can see a little gun sticking out at the top, that's O'Hara's battery, and all the way down to sea level is part of Gibraltar's World Heritage Site. And that World Heritage Site, the name sort of gives it away, is unique in the entire world. And especially unique about it is its relationship with the Neanderthals.
Just outside the city gate is a cemetery where each October there's a commemoration of what was called the Great and Memorable Sea Fight off Trafalgar in 1805. Although he won the battle, Admiral Lord Nelson was fatally wounded on his flagship, the Victory. Gail Francis Tyrone picks up the story.
What happened next was that the HMS Victory was towed back to Gibraltar to be repaired at Rocha Bay, and in the meantime the Admiral's body was pickled inside a barrel of brandy. Now, whilst the Victory was repaired, they also had a couple of people who sadly died of their wounds from the battle, and they are buried here.
Gibraltar's great diversity is reflected in the many places of worship. Maltese and Genoese Catholics worship at the Cathedral of St Mary the Crowned. Protestants convene at the Anglican Cathedral of the Holy Trinity. Gibraltar's Jewish community has been here for centuries, as symbolised by the Flemish synagogue. In the year 2000, a Hindu temple was opened in the territory, and members of the Islamic faith share a mosque with a view at Europa Point in sight of North Africa.
As soon as you get off that plane, you are into a different period of history every corner you turn.